Hey guys, welcome back. Originally I had planned for us to meet just for the beginning of class today and go over this warm up, just so we knew how to do these soil texture triangles. But I just figured I would go ahead and make a video that you guys could watch and review so that you don't have to log on to Zoom today because it is Friday. And also, I am super congested, and so I don't know if it's like my sinuses or what, but I figured it would just be better for us all around if we just kind of did this independently. And then if you guys had any questions, you can always reach out and let me know. So these are the first three soil texture triangle problems that are in your virtual lab, which is formal, that you guys started last lesson. And our soil lesson was a little bit long, so instead of doing some examples in that last class period, I told you guys we would do some today. And so I'm going to record this and show you guys how to do it. And then if you want to meet with me or set up a time that we can go over some of these problems, I would absolutely be happy to do that with you. But I have linked this soil texture triangle into your warm up so you can make a copy of it and you can use it. Like I was saying earlier in our lesson, it's really convenient to do this in Google Slides because we can draw the lines that we need to draw and find precisely where the lines overlap. So it's a really great tool that we can use here to do these warm-up problems, and also to do your problems. You'll have access to this to do your problems for your lab as well, because this will save to your Google Drive. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these, and then if you have any questions, you can let me know. So question 1, so this is our percentage of each particle in our soil sample. So it's 30% sand, 10% clay, and 60% silt. So we're going to figure out what texture that particular composition of soil would be. So I always start on the clay side because the clay goes left to right. So it is 10% clay. So I'm going to come over here and get my line feature. And I'm going to find my 10% clay. And I'm going to draw my line over. So we go from left to right. And I'm also going to make this red so we can see it. Okay. So there's and it's a little bit crooked, but it'll be okay. So there's my clay percentage at 10%. We just start at 10. We find the percentage of the clay. We start from left and we go over for left to right. Then I'm going to do my percent silt, which is 60%. So I'm going to come over to my silt side, and we see this arrow that comes down at this angle. So I'm going to find my 60% silt. I'm going to put my dot right there, and I'm going to draw my line down. And like that. And I'm going to change it to red. So now we have our clay line and we have our silt line. So then our last one is sand. So I'm going to get another line. And sand is on the bottom, and you can see the direction that we're supposed to draw our sand line. So we are at 30% sand. And I'm going to draw up an angle for 30%. And then I'm going to make this red as well so we can see it. And then voila, where they intersect is your soil texture. So all three of these lines intersect in this light green area. And so that's going to be silty loam. So I'm going to write silty loam as my answer. And just a reminder, clay loam in the middle right here, this is going to be, or medium loam, clay loam, any kind of loam is really going to be, especially in the center of the soil texture triangle, this is going to be the type of loam that is kind of the best soil because it holds water for like the right amount of time. So it's not too porous, it's not porous enough, and so that's really good for agriculture. So a really good loam is what you're going to want for your agriculture because it's good for crops because it holds water but not too much to drown the plants. So the good thing about this is that we can go ahead and delete these lines and we can do the next one. I think I'll do this second one, and then you guys can do the third one on your own Actually, no, you know what? I'm posting this video so that you can check your answers. So I'll do all 3 of these. All right, so the second one is 20% silt, 10% clay, and 70% sand. So we're at clay, 10%. So I'm going to draw my line here over. Maybe I can get this one a little bit more straight. No, I don't know why that one's so difficult. So 10% clay, 20% silt. I'm going to come over here, find my 20% silt, and then come down at an angle. And then, so we have our 20% silt, 10% clay, and then 70% sand. So this 70% is going to come up through here. And it's already red. So we are kind of in between here. So we have loamy sand and sandy loam. So like in that video that I posted in your last lesson, it kind of can have a dual classification because it is right on the line. So we could say that this is sandy loam / loamy sand, which is really funny because it's the same thing, just backwards. So hopefully I will pay attention to what I put on your test, and I will make sure that any of the soil texture triangle questions do have a very clear answer and does not come on like a border like this one does. All right, so let's do our last one. Again, love this feature where we can just delete these lines because it's so nice. So for our third one, we have 30% clay, 30% sand, 40% silt. So like always, I'm going to start with my clay side. So we've got 30% clay. So I'm going to find my percentage clay. I'm going to draw my line from left to right. Make this guy red. And then I have 30% sand, or let's do silt next. We've got 40% silt, which is right here. I'm going to draw him down at an angle along that 40% line. And then we've got 30% sand. So on the bottom, we'll find our 30 sand. And we will draw up at an angle. Okay. So now we need to find where all of these intersect. And this I think is drawn a little bit. Here we go. So this again is kind of on the border of this clay loam and medium loam. I think it looks more like it's in the clay loam because I didn't get my line completely straight. But again, this could be a dual classification of clay loam / medium loam, but what I'm going to do is just call it clay loam. And I didn't realize that these were all dual classifications, these first or the second and third one. But it's going to be a dual classification, meaning it could be classified as 2 different things if the intersection is like right on the line. But like I said, when you guys do, it's good to practice it like this so you can see it. But on your tests and also on any FRQs I give you, I'll be sure to make sure that it's like definitely in one specific spot so that you don't have to worry about the dual classification. Okay, so check these answers, see if you got what I got, and then you can use these as examples to finish up your soil texture triangle portion of your virtual lab. If you guys have any issues with that, if you want me to meet with you to do some more of these, once you do a few and you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. But if you want to see some additional examples, just let me know and we can set up a time to do that. So I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in our next lesson. Bye guys.